being carbon dioxide and oxygen between the blood and the body cells. Now, one thing, there's a question on your practice exams, and Shasta's been working on those. There's a question on your practice exam, on one of those on respiration, that deals with, this question deals with the partial pressure. Where does the partial pressure, in which situation would it show a decrease in partial pressure of oxygen? It's on practice exam 2 on respiration, I think, showing a decrease in partial pressure. And so the partial pressure would decrease as we go, well, just for an example, it would be higher in the alveoli than it would be in blood vessels away from there. It'd be lower there, and it would be lowest at the tissue level or cellular level. You see how the partial pressure is higher here, and the farther away from the alveoli, the oxygen pressure. Where would carbon dioxide partial pressure be higher? Out here or at the tissue level? Think. Carbon dioxide at the tissue level. At the tissue level, it's higher, and it's coming up here. The partial pressure is getting lower and lower. You kind of get the drift on that. Think about the partial pressure. Partial pressure of oxygen is higher up here, higher here. As it goes away toward the tissues, it gets lower. Carbon dioxide partial pressure is higher here in the tissues where it's made. In fact, we were talking about that in 2401 yesterday. We were going over the Krebs in the muscle stuff in 2401. Where does all the carbon dioxide come from that you exhale? It comes from all the cells of the body. If you vaguely remember that, all the cells of the body as a result of cell respiration. So the partial pressure is higher in the tissue level, and it gets lower as we get up here, and then it's still higher here than it is in the atmosphere. So breathing is an effortless process, and that's what this is. That's what that gets at. Internal respiration is the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Oxygen goes in to the body cells, and CO2 comes out. But did you find that question? She's looking. Did you find that question?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. You'll find it later. All right, cellular respiration. We've already talked about cellular respiration in 2 classes. We talked about it in 2401, and we talked about cellular respiration when we talked about it in metabolism in this class. So we've already talked about glycolysis, occurs in the cytosol, Krebs cycle in the matrix of the mitochondria, the electron transport in the cristae of the mitochondria. So you already know that. You already had that. And then the next thing is not, there's nothing difficult about this next little gig right here. There's nothing hard about this part right here. All this does, and I'll put it on the big show. And we'll get on. Respiration, though, is really, y'all, respiration is something that, and again, I keep referring to this girl that works at this woman that's an EMT person. She actually works with a guy that I had in 2 classes, Jeff, who's with the Life Flight, the Life Flight program, and she works with him, but she works on the ambulance. And of course, he's not always in the air. He's a lot on the ambulances a lot. And just talking to her and talking to these people like this, I find out that one of the key things that when they pick people up, it has to do, Adrian, with lung stuff, COPD, lung and heart. COPD, shortness of breath. You know, she tells me that chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, they see so much of that with these people. With the populace, if you want to use that term, the populace. You know, so much COPD. And but anyway, so the respiratory system is very much a vital part. And again, always remember, if you can't breathe, you know it, but your blood pressure can be real high and you feel good. You know, you really feel good. That's why it's called the silent killer. The nose, external, obviously what you see, the nose on your face, okay? All right, the external nose. Now the external nose, there's cartilage, obviously. And again, there's nothing hard about this stuff right here. There's nothing. This is straightforward. It's just part of it. And so right in through here, the bridge of the nose, the nasal bone. I never will get this breath. I was jogging this many years ago. I'll never forget this as long as I live. There was an old guy over in Deer Park that'd come out here. He'd actually jogged. He lived right down Center Street, and he was kind of a short fella. And when he jogged, I never did know the fella's name. I just seen him. But he'd jog over here to the track, jog around the track. When he jogged, he'd be in a mode like this. That's the way he'd be running. He'd always have his head down when he was short. Well, they had a thing that came across the track, this metal thing. I guess they used it for a starting thing, but it was a bar, and it came across the track. This guy was not paying attention. If you can imagine this, he was jogging like this, and he was low. This thing was kind of high. He ran into this thing, hit him right in the bridge of the nose. Blood was coming everywhere. I mean, it was just coming. I asked him, I said, "Can I help him?" No. Oh, this guy was in a world of hurt, and he had jogged over here. I guess he had to walk home. I guess I never would get it. But I thought about the nasal bones, the bridge of the nose, right there. I mean, he just popped that, and I saw him later. He broke his nose. Is what happened. Ran into something. But anyway, that's the bridge of the nose. Is the nasal bone. Then the external hairs, that's what you pick, or people pull the hairs out of their nose. When you stop at a stoplight. Or, you know, the boogers, where the boogers are, you know. Okay, so that's the external hairs. And, of course, hairs are there. Vestibule is the opening. The vestibule is the opening right in there. That's the vestibule in the nose. These are just some terms. You know, that's the vestibule. And the vibrissae is a term you may or may not have heard. Vibrissae is a term for the coarse hair in the nose. That is the term vibrissae. And so that's just the coarse hairs. They seem to be more prominent in men than they are in women. I don't think women have hairs. You don't have hairs in your nose, do you, women? Y'all don't have hairs in your nose, do you? Women do not. Can't that be the most disgusting thing? To see some old guy with hairs out the nose? You know, they can be trimmed. They can always be trimmed. But can't that be disgusting to see? Do you agree? Is that disgusting? It's very disgusting, yeah. The hairs in the nose, yeah. And a first cousin of mine, a dentist, he's a nice guy. In fact, he and I are the same age. My birthday's in November. And his is mine is November the 15th, and his is January the 16th. So there's only about 2 months difference in our ages. And his name is, he goes by the nickname Butch. And, but anyway, the last time I saw him, we were just at a party a little while back. And I was talking to him, and I didn't say anything, but I noticed, I thought to myself, man, Mac, you need to trim the hairs in your nose. I didn't say that to him.